Welcome to Rot and Glory. Trying something a little bit new here today. I've never done this before or attempted to have an open format live stream. Not sure how it's going to work. It could wind up being a very short and lonely discussion. How is everybody doing today? How are you doing in the chat? We've got Doc Salem here, Justin McClure, Oni64. Hail everybody. I think what I'm going to do is start off with this video from Scotsman. He went into a Walmart and found some Allegiance comics on the shelf, so I'm going to give that a play, and hopefully we'll get some more people in here. And the link to the StreamYard is posted in the chat. Everyone is welcome. If you would like to share your thoughts on what is going on with this project, I'd love to hear it. So let's kick off this video.
Okay, I'm here in a Walmart in SoCal, walking towards on the publication aisle, looking for the Allegiance Arts merchandising. I don't see it anywhere. I'm looking around. I don't see the corrugate display anywhere. We got some children's stuff here. We got some. Oh, what do we got here? We got the Futurists. We got Norris Saga. We got Bass Reeves. And we got Red Rooster. $4.98. Hey, wow, $5. Looks like we got 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It looks like about 10, 3, 6, 9, 10. 3, 6, 9, 10. So 10 copies of each. Looks like nobody's bought anything. It's kind of peculiar to have exactly 10 unless somebody bought one of each. Print quality is not as good as what I received because I backed these 3 books separately. So I did not back Red Rooster. I wasn't paying attention to that campaign when it was running. Kind of glad I didn't. I mean, I like Mitch. I think he's a nice guy, but some shit's, things take time. I get it. I understand. I'm a creator too. But this being in this store right now, I don't know. So I think I'm gonna buy this one. It looks to be the pretty square, cut very nicely. A little bit of fluting, so it speaks to paper quality. Sticker right there on the cover. Walmart apparently doesn't really give a shit, but hey, it is what it is, right? So, looking at, not really gonna spoil things here, but the paper's thick. It's not newsprint. It's decent quality paper. Matte finish. It's not really shiny. It's not matte. It's matte finish, not shiny at all. A little warbly, but again, this is newsstand. It's not the collectible that everyone else is paying top dollar for. But it appears to be. It's relatively thick, but there are ads in here. So we'll do a proper review when we get home and put this out. So yeah, it's landed. The rooster has landed in Walmart before anybody else's homes. I don't know much what else to say beyond that, but we are where we're at. So love you guys.
Ink Spots, how you doing, sir?
Good, man.
I know you're exhausted today. Thanks for popping in. You're saving me from a very lonely discussion.
Yeah, I needed a break today. The whole week kicked my balls in. But
I know,
this is a
you're working
subject
hard.
that I'm
You're fired up about it. You've got some passion. I know that I did not back this project, so I'm not as emotionally invested into it. Probably allows me to speak to it a little more calmly. But I think you said you had dropped at a fairly high tier.
Yeah, this is the second largest campaign that I backed. So, and the 2 biggest ones I backed have both been bastards, because the largest tier I backed was for Bigfoot Bill. And then the second largest was a Red Rooster, which both projects turned out to be a complete joke so far. So,
right. I mean, I backed Nora's Saga from the Allegiance Comics campaign. Incredibly happy with that book. It's so well written, so well drawn. Absolutely love it. I don't know why they marketed it to young girls. It made me feel a little weird. about liking it, I guess. But other than
Yeah,
that, I think it's a great project, and all the creators involved with these books are there's insane talent here, and this has nothing to do with them. It's not about them. It's about Red Rooster, and this book should have been in backers' hands before it started showing up in Walmart. I mean, there's no other way to put that.
yeah. There's no defending what happened. It's a complete slap in the face. It's not how Comicsgate is supposed to work. It's supposed to be all about the consumer, and then in this particular case, the consumer got completely screwed over. Uh, I should have had my Red Rooster in my hands long before anything ever appeared in Walmart. Long before Allegiance Arts launched, I should have had my Red Rooster.
Yeah,
Uh, yeah, and
I
that's what
agree with
makes
that.
it. It's not provable, but that's what makes it feel like you launched Red Rooster to finance Allegiance Arts. That's what it feels like.
I
Uh,
now I I think I disagree a little bit on that because, well, we can't know that. And my understanding is they have investors that made Allegiance Arts and the Walmart deal possible. There's no way to I can't confirm that, but I don't know. And to make that's a pretty hefty accusation. I think the only reason Red Rooster hasn't been delivered into hands is because it just literally has not been finished. I mean,
I
it
wouldn't
just
say
wasn't ready.
it's not an accusation.
It's what it looks like.
It's what it looks like. It's the appearance of evil. It feels like that to a lot of backers, and not just me. To a lot of backers, that's what it feels like.
Hmm.
Um, uh, it never should have happened. There should have been, and also there should have been a lot more communication with backers along the way.
I think that's my number one. And I made a little video about this and posted it to the channel, and I go over some of this. But the big thing for me is we've experienced someone being very late, and someone at the top tiers of Comicsgate being very late on a book. Uh, Cyberfrog Blood Honey took far longer than anticipated. The difference is EVS stood right in the fire the whole time. He took the punches. He never stopped making videos. He never left any social media platforms. He took the heat, and he ultimately delivered. I think he won back the respect and trust of his backers, and that's the difference. Mitch kind of he pulled a disappearing act on us, and hasn't really been available.
Yeah.
So we've got a couple more people here. Let's get him on in. How you doing, Jay Money? Good.
What's going on?
Good to have
And
you, Mitchell. Nice.
is this the famous Mitchell from
I don't know if I'm
the?
famous. I'm just happy I go by Mitchell and not Mitch because every time I hear people talk about Mitch now, I'm like, oh man, it's never anything good.
The name's been ruined. Yeah, you
Yeah.
made a good call there.
Your name's been soiled.
I wouldn't say it's soiled, but it's getting a little negative attention now.
Right. It's like Corona beer, just completely ruined now.
Yeah.
It doesn't make a whole lot of sense that people would make that association, but that's how the brain works. It does. I think we have a Preston situation that is similar there. We've got the good Preston and the other.
Yeah.
So, Jay Money, what
Good
are your
Preston
thoughts
is-
on this?
Well, I know a lot of people don't want to speculate, and I was just listening to y'all beginning, but it was the ink spots. Like, I hope people don't want to speculate because they don't want to speculate, I guess is the way to put it. And to be honest, they did use this money. And now whether or not they use this money to fund the POP, which is the box that they use to put into the stores, or they use the money that they used from the original implementation of Red Rooster to show that they had liquidity to be able to do this and put all these into the source, because they had to front the money ahead of time to get this many books printed. And wow, so like we can say, oh, he didn't use the $200,000 to do what he did, but at the same time, we're speculating on the fact that he has investors because of what we've heard from Ethan. And so while he may have investors, you put all that money into the same bank account, it doesn't matter where it necessarily came from in respect to the businessman, but from the people who back the books and the people who spend a lot of money, that doesn't matter to them. So they have backstabbed. I think it was 3,000 to, let's just say 2,000 to 3,000 people.
It's 3,500 and change.
Backers, so they literally backstabbed over 3,000 people, and they what was the Alterna?
You're talking.
What was that second campaign they did with Nora Saga and everything? It didn't even raise $30,000, or barely even raised a little over $30,000.
Yeah, I actually think that was a combined. It was a combined campaign for the 3 other books, I believe.
Yeah,
and it was like 40,000.
It was a terrible idea.
Yeah,
I agree.
And it didn't raise that money because they had already lost our trust just by launching that campaign.
Well, I do think the Walmart, I think at that point people knew about the Walmart deal and Allegiance Comics, and I don't think it sat that well with people. I actually admire what they're trying to do with Walmart. I'm not against that, because if we're going to...
But your admiration, nothing against you, or not to cut you off, but your admiration is based off the money that they were able to raise, because again, it goes so if you have an investor, because I've dealt with wealthy people in my life, not gloating or anything like that, but they use the money they raised, and then they use the idea that they can raise this much money X amount of times over to get investors to be with them while they're in the room with the people who you have conversations with to get your product into Walmart. And I know what those meetings are like. And so for him to do what he did and to play us the way that he did, it's extremely disingenuous. And I have been watching Mitch for over 3 years, or I used to watch Mitch for over 3 years now. And I saw the streams where he was breaking down. Like he's pushing his hands through his head like a lunatic. Like he's literally freaking out because the entire chat is baffled by what he's done. And man, I tell you what, I watched it. It was last night when Ethan, you can see it. Like Ethan stood up for this man, and even Ethan has been backstabbed by what's going on because there's no communications between them anymore either. And like I was watching Scotsman Face when he was on the stream with, I think, Liam or whoever it was the other day. You could see the sting anger in some people's faces. You could see it in Ethan's, you could see it in Scotsman's, and then the other guys who aren't on camera who are voicing it through words on a keyboard. But man, what he did is so wrong, and it makes Ethan look so bad to the people who are out to get Ethan.
Yeah, I think you make a very valid point about how the money works when you're working a deal like this. I guess what I mean to say is I respect the idea of what they are trying to do. How they went about doing it is the problem, but I'm not against the Walmart idea is what I'm saying.
No, I'm not against it.
Some people just hated the whole idea from the get-go, but like I'm not against the idea. I'm against getting it funded, even if they're not, like you said, if they're not directly using those dollars to make this happen. It was leveraged in some way, probably, right? I mean, that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'd also like to say he just made a great point there about Ethan. Okay, Ethan's word carries a lot of weight. When Ethan says this project is going to get funded and it's going to go out to the backers, and then it doesn't, you're hurting Ethan's business. I even though he is kind of sticking up for Mitch a little bit, he's got to be feeling that, that hurt his credibility and quite a bit. And now we got Critias, and now we got Mitch. And so the more people keep not delivering after Ethan says, all right, back this project, the less and less, it's hurting his business. It's hurting.
It hurts all of Comicsgate ultimately.
Hurts small creators, everybody.
It weakens the network overall every time. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a problem.
And then you have. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'd just like to say I thought that they had a good idea with how they did the Norse Saga Futurists, Bass Reeves kind of thing, where they did put out a more collectible comic on Indiegogo. It did come out before it hit to Walmart. I thought that was a good idea. But then when they're putting out Red Rooster like this, it takes away that kind of goodwill, in my opinion. I find it hard to want to back another Indiegogo campaign from them.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. They used the power of Ethan and the other people. I mean, to be completely honest, this is what people do when they're trying to start a business. They will stab you in the back, just to continue to use that phrase. They use Ethan's power on top of their own and the ideas that they had that went along. Because he used to stream all the time. Mitch used to stream all the time.
Right.
And now he vanished.
That really bothers me.
Yeah, dude. And so they used us. They used over 3,500 people to raise their money to get what they needed to get their product. So their entire end goal was to get into Walmart. So while we may be happy that they got in Walmart, they used us to get in Walmart. So he's a schemer himself. He literally schemed us. I mean, I don't know what there's. And then you had Mike Miller. I bought 3 books from Mike Miller, and I haven't got a single one yet. And the only reason why I did that was because of Ethan. And then but there will be individuals who are not who they seem to be. And then we
do have rock stars.
Yeah.
Like Vinny Tardamella.
Oh man.
Beautiful, every time this guy delivers every time. I don't know how many campaigns he's done.
God,
quite
so
a few.
many now.
This is what Comicsgate needs to be, is this kind of integrity. And he's always there for Comicsgate. He's always promoting other people. He's doing it right. That's what Comicsgate wants to be. It strives to be. And shit like this, it does so much harm. It hurts everyone.
Yeah, you to be honest, you'll be able. So what I've learned, because I've read many books, and so there's a book called Emotional Intelligence 2.0, and when you're born, you have an IQ. Your IQ can't change, but your EQ, which is your emotional intelligence, your emotional intelligence can change. And so what we need to have, and that's what Ethan and John and everybody's been doing, like what you've seen with John with War Campaign and Rob's Cyborg USA, like there needs, and we're seeing it because they don't promote people like they used to. There needs to be, I don't want to say gatekeeping, but there needs to be a more stringent approach, or Ethan or John or whomever else.
I agree. I mean, I have a simple solution to it that I think would work, and that is, you don't get to go on the top tier platforms, even if you're buddies, until you've delivered your first campaign.
Yes.
That's just, I think that's just the most simple, fair way to handle it. But then you got the Dan Fregas, who come in and they just ooze integrity. He's going to deliver, and he deserves to be on the top tier platforms. But he probably could have had this success without necessarily. He can do it on his own as well. I think he's one of those guys. So it's tough, it's tough to know how to deal with it.
Yeah, I don't really think that them being platformed is what's wrong, because if someone's going to be doing something wrong, they're going to do something wrong no matter who's letting them talk. It does hurt Ethan. I wish that people would kind of stop doing this kind of stuff, because he's already has 48 pages done. Why not delay putting Red Rooster on the shelf in Walmart until it's completely done? It would have been just the same as, the Futurist, Bass Reeves, and Nora Saga. Why not just delay that book until he can deliver like he did with the other ones? That's really my big question. Why was this one so essential to go out with all of them to pretty much now?
Right. Yeah, it's an interesting question. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just very clear that he prioritized Allegiance Comics and the Walmart deal above his backers. I mean, it can't really be argued. That's just the cold, hard truth of it all,
Well, and and we all know, he used Red Rooster's money to fund those 3 projects to get them out as fast as they did, and they came out quick. They came out very quick. And to talk about, because Jeff STP said your IQ can't change, just to hit on that topic real quick. The older you get, if you get dementia or things like that, your IQ actually can drop. But you are born with a certain IQ level, and you're rated from elementary, middle school, and high school, and on into college. And once you reach a certain range, your IQ actually does not change. Your IQ does not change. And
Right.
if you have not read the books, if you have not studied on it, then reading a simple book, just talk to Jeff STP with the delivery dates. Just read Emotional Intelligence 2.0. Read the books like How to Defeat a Narcissist, or 5 Signs of a Miserable Job, or Who Stole My Cheese, or any of those books, because they are fantastic leadership books. And I used to teach leadership classes. So we all know what happened. We all just have to admit to it. He used money in areas that he should not have used them in. He got out 3 other books without getting out his book. And then when he initially showed his original 4-tier thing, in the picture where he's holding his wife's shoulder, who I've heard Kelsey say she is an evil woman. Of course, in the 4th slot in the bottom, it was empty, but we all knew it would be Red Rooster in that bottom.
Right.
And we know what he did. We know what he did. And we're not. No one's speculating. We all know.
That seemed a little underhanded. Why wasn't Red Rooster in that picture? You just delaying the backlash, or what?
I guarantee you they were printed. I guarantee you, because apparently that was only like a 20 or 30 something. Scotsman will have to say how many pages there are, but this Red Rooster book is not what the product is that the people bought on Indiegogo.
No.
So on the Indiegogo purchase, you're actually going to get more pages and more of a book with a different cover or a better cover. And then what's in Walmart is completely different than what everybody bought in the Indiegogo campaign.
Yes. I want to inject here. I think somebody who has done something, it's not the same, but it's similar. I think somebody who did this right. Hail, Scotsman, welcome.
Hail, brother.
I just want to finish this real quick. I think Clint Stoker with his comic Downcast, he signed a deal with Alterna Comics to put newsprint quality floppies into shops. But I think he did it absolutely right. Mm-hmm. He delivers his premium graphic novel to backers months before the floppies will be available. They're completely different quality. It's not even comparable. It's a completely different format, and it's going to reach a different audience. I think Clint did that right. I think he did it respectfully to the backers. And he still has the respect of Comicsgate. I think some people looked at it funny, and I don't really understand that. I don't know. What do you guys feel about the way Clint did his thing?
I like how he handled it. I have no problem if he wants to put out pretty much like a second printing that's different than the initial run. I feel like the second printing, especially going into like newsprint, won't impact kind of the collector element of his actual Indiegogo campaign.
Right.
I think that he followed through with the Indiegogo campaign. I don't believe he put like, oh, this is an exclusive only through Indiegogo, and you were on it, so it's not like he lied to us.
Yeah.
He delivered, and I think he's delivered. I know I've backed 2 of his projects, and one of them he's printing right now or having a little bit of an issue with the printer, and then the other one is already in my hands, so it's hard to complain about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I backed the 3-book Allegiance Arts offering, and I read each one of these books, and the premium item that I paid for is almost identical to what was in Walmart. The paper quality is very similar. Here's the Crimson Cock right here. The paper quality is almost identical, right? The thickness is the same. This was obviously cared for better because I received it in a bag and a board. This had a fucking price sticker stuck on right on the cover. I peeled it off. It came off, didn't damage the cover at all. But, you know, this was stacked 10 high on a shelf next to 10 of the others, right? It's 24 pages. If you listen to the sound of this paper, that's not cheap paper. That's good paper.
Yeah.
It's thick. Print quality is great. I read this story, finished it today. I love the story. Honestly, I like nostalgic 30s timepieces. I think it's great. I think it reminds me of Silvestri when he was drawing Wolverine. You know, the way Mitch's art looks. All around, I think this is a great book. But it's tainted because I have it. I didn't back Red Rooster, but I have it.
Yeah, that's brutal, you know. And
now,
obviously
one
it's
more
not
thing.
the full thing, but
I'll make one more statement. One more statement. Stay tuned for July 7th when episode 2 is released. Episode 2 arrives July 7th. Is that 24 pages? Because that's a 48-page entire graphic novel that's supposed to be in backers' hands. No? Am I wrong?
60 pages, I thought.
60 pages.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, what you're
All right.
holding is a third of the final.
24. Right.
Yeah.
So the second one, imagine, is going to be 24 again. That's 48. Yeah. So.
And the promise is that backers will get their graphic novel. I think it's before the second one drops.
I sure should hope so.
I think he put out a statement saying it would be towards the end of May. I'm not certain on that, but I think that's the plan.
And the other thing that I'll say, I've heard, and I don't know if this is apocryphal or not, I don't know if it's accurate. I've heard that he's hiring another artist to help him finish it, like Doug TenNapel helped.
Now, oh God, don't tell me.
So listen to me. If Mitch doesn't draw this fucking book,
that's the end
that's
right
it.
there.
It's game over.
Game over for
it's game
sure.
Over. It's game
I
over.
already think that Mitch trying to do another Indiegogo campaign attached to Comicsgate in any way is dead in the water. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, I wouldn't back him again.
I would
Can't
not.
happen.
I wouldn't.
Welcome, Lucius.
I like some of the people he works
Hey,
with.
welcome, guys.
You know why I backed the
Introduce
Allegiance
them.
Arts project? I backed it because of Kelsey Shannon.
Yeah.
I wanted to support Kelsey
Hail. Yes.
because
I'll
Kelsey,
be honest
That's the other
great.
thing is it hurt all these other creators that did not deserve this shit, man.
yeah.
And I didn't buy that combo pack because of what Mitch did. So Scotsman
Yeah.
said he bought it because of Kelsey, and I love Kelsey, and I've watched every single live stream that he's been on for the last 2 or 3 years or whatever, and I thoroughly enjoy him. And I'm sure some of y'all have been on a stream that one night when he was talking about Mitch's wife and how mean she is, and for all of this. Bro, they took everyone's money. They started their business. They got it into Walmart's.
Yeah.
And now they're trying to use the money that they're going to make from the Walmart sales because Walmart will pay at cost times, maybe 10 or 20%. and they're going to make their money off of that, and they're going to use that money to in turn just flip Red Rooster out. And if I'm not mistaken, everyone got a PDF of I don't know, 20 or 30 pages. I guess what came out in Walmart. That's not.
I think so.
People
Yeah.
pay physical copies to get a PDF 2 or 3 years later.
Yeah.
For a
I
book that's
think
already
it is,
in Walmart.
Is the Walmart one, because it's 24 pages. At least that's what they said on their on that update when they released it.
Okay,
Yeah.
I wasn't clear on that.
I market products to Walmart all the time. They are ruthless.
They
with
are
what they require on the back end. So,
I would imagine, yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing, Walmart treats everything like a widget. There's no respect for that product. They're not gonna. They don't. If it sells, it sells. They're not gonna do anything special with it. It's just another widget in their, juggernaut warehouse of widgets.
Well, like I was saying last night, every square inch of floor space and vertical space is accounted for in a number. It must produce revenue if it's allocated to do so. So, their Allegiance Arch merchandising piece that they made, that corrugate fold out, that's supposed to attach to the front face of the newsstand there. Yes. That wasn't there at that Walmart. These were just fanned out, stuck on the rack.
That's not, and that's so not going to work. Without the stand, I don't think they can sell, honestly. The stand,
they don't call out to you. They don't.
Right. When they're in the stand, I got to say, they look appealing, for sure.
Yeah. Well, you see comics, collectible, grab one today or whatever, that kind of stuff. It's bright red. It sticks out. It didn't for me on the shelf. I was looking for it. That's why I found it.
Oh, you'll be happy to know. I don't know if you caught it, but I did play your video at the beginning of this stream.
Oh, I didn't catch it. I was watching anime with Sim in his Discord.
Nice. Yeah, I stole your content and used it. So
full license. You got it, brother. As long as you talk over
I just wanted to
20 seconds or so
establish when, according to the now closed campaign page, the initial funding looks like it ended on August 23rd, 2018. I know it was. I think it may have fully closed down in December of 2018. I'm not certain. So, this is a good. It's not 2 or 3 years, but it's way too long.
Yeah. I'll tell you, if the book never ended up in Walmart and they were just this late, customers would be giving them much more grace.
Yeah.
Agreed. Oh, this is salt in the wound. It's gnarly. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
So, I don't know.
Did y'all watch Ethan's stream last night?
I did.
He made it a small topic of the 2 hours or whatever, and it was maybe just a minute. But you can see it in Ethan's face, and he tries to hide the reaction that he really has inside of him. Y'all know how Ethan can react appropriately, and
oh yeah. Well, as he's reading super chats, he's reading super chat about the situation, and then Mitch, get your fucking work done, and moves on to the next next super chat. So you can see the pauses in his delivery tell a good story there. So
yeah.
And
why, if everything was cool and everything was wonderful, Mitch would have been there on this, like he'd be on the streams with the, he's not there. He's kind of hiding in the shadows, man. And that's the worst thing he could be doing.
He abandoned YouTube and Twitter. I don't think he was made for this. Like, I remember he got trolled in one of his streams where they were doing like message deleted when that was a thing. Like, and he's like, don't delete their messages, guys. Like, he was completely unaware. And this is before this whole snafu happened, but people were like, I'm refunding Red Rooster. And like, you could see him just like losing his mind. He's like, okay, if you want to refund it. But he didn't know that they were like completely joking with him. And he was like losing his shit. Like, he is seriously not built to handle the just level of like irony, joking, joshing, and stuff that comes with it, and that's why he ran away,
smashing his head on the keyboard there.
Exactly.
See, I never watched Mitch. I wasn't I didn't.
They were pretty boring. The only time
Yeah.
there was one he had with Kelsey that was really good, but it was because Kelsey was there, and he's been on Jack's show. He's had he knows the rhythm and everything.
You
He
mean
was,
this
like,
stream right here?
following
You mean
chat.
this one? That
Yeah,
stream?
I remember
Maybe
watching that
it could have
stream.
been.
I watched
I
that
remember.
stream.
Yeah,
It was
I remember him
somewhere
working
in
on
September, I think.
I remember him working on like the train scene or whatever, like where the villains are all around. I remember seeing that one.
But even
Yeah.
now,
You
I
mean
don't
this
know
one?
that I don't know that I caught that stream. But
Yeah.
even on that stream, didn't they kind of avoid the topic that was supposed to be discussed? As I recall, like it really wasn't what people thought it was going to be. I don't think.
Well, he
I'm
was
not
drawing.
sure.
He was drawing.
Yeah,
So he wasn't. his head
I
was
don't
down
think
a
it
lot.
went as far as like the other books or like the deal he had with. I mean, we all knew the deal was happening at Walmart, but I don't think there was any solid dates or anything like
Okay.
that.
Because
Yeah.
I thought that
did
stream
anyone-
had to do with when Kelsey
the
was kind
action.
of getting attacked. You remember when that shit
Well,
was
did
going
anyone
on?
see?
It was kind of around then, yeah.
Did anyone see? Did anyone see Kelsey's tweet this morning? He's already drawing book 3,
He would have to be.
and
Put out a cover
three
too,
of what?
like
And-
what the cover looked like.
of Nora Saga. If
Yeah.
you check Kelsey's tweets this morning, he's on book 3 already.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is,
He's a workhorse, man.
Kelsey's fast, dude. If you ever
Mhm.
watched him on like Drawn and Backhold or whatever, he fucking flies.
Oh, I
He's
love watching
quick.
him work. It's amazing. And I swear I've seen him do lettering by hand. Like he does comic book lettering by hand instead of using a font. I'm like, wow, this guy's something else.
That's classic. That's the classic style.
yeah, that's old school stuff.
Yeah.
And I just, I really hope. I know Kelsey's really busy and he has a lot of commitments, but I just hope the day is coming when he launches his own independent, separate Comicscape
Definitely,
project.
yeah.
Because
Yeah.
that's 6 figures guaranteed. Come on.
Especially with all the other projects that he's helped and that have been delivered, where you can go pick up that cover, and hold it up and say, "Oh yeah, I like this."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like the Futurists. I liked that story. It was good. It was a good. It felt like I was reading a classic tale. I enjoyed it. Nora Saga, pretty cool. Bass Reeves, I wasn't really moved by Bass Reeves. I liked the art, but the story was okay. So they're putting out good work. It's not a question of how good the work is. They're definitely good.
Mm-hmm.
It's just optics.
Have you guys talked about the fact that they sell them as seasons and episodes?
No.
That did kind of rub me the wrong way when I saw that. I was
That was just weird. Yeah.
They're trying to just get some normie guy to realize, oh, I could pick this up. That's what they're doing there. They're just trying to get someone who doesn't buy comics to buy the comics.
Man.
Well, it's gamer speak too, right? Because now games are doled out in seasons, right? Fortnite is doled out in seasons. You're part of season whatever. You got the skins exclusive to this season. It's keying into the current model of monetization.
Look at the last Razmaz chat line there.
This one. Yeah. And I love Kelsey's ability to just he doesn't really play into any of this stuff. I think he almost finds it like fascinating to just watch the bombs go off, and he's in his own little world. He just wants to make comics. And I think he's gotten to a place where he can coexist with all of this stuff happening, and it doesn't have to be a part of his daily experience,
Mrs. Scotsman just brought me a burger the size of my fucking arm.
Nice.
Holy shit. The Habit. I don't know if you ever had it before, but
nice. We've got a burger place called Nobby's that's like that. The best thing about it is they get the cheese all crispy around the edges.
A boat of fries as well. Damn, I'm gonna be eating in a bit.
So, what else? Does anyone have something they want to add to this? Is there anything that we haven't hit on?
I mean, what more is there to be said? I mean, it is what it is. I mean, we understand that the art is good. The thought process behind bringing comics back mainstream from Comicsgate towards the mainstream, that's helpful because it gets new readers, right? Because right now we're in this virtual pit of like people who know about us, and we're trying to get out and say like, hey, there's cool stuff happening over here. Well, what's one of the biggest stages you can put that in? Fucking Walmart. I mean,
Right.
you know, they're the retailer that crushes all retailers. Of course, that's the most eyeballs you can possibly get on a consumer product anywhere in the world. So all things considered, it is positive for comics. It's positive for CG. Optics are the problem. You know what I mean? What do we stand for?
Is there a path back?
I think so. I think everyone has a chance for redemption and atonement. You know, like I think that should be something available to everybody, even someone like Miller. As long as you make good. But I don't see it happening with him. But if I get the book, I'm not going to be like, as long as I get the Red Rooster book, I'm okay. Like, there's been so many delays in so many books. I think a number of these guys jumped in not really knowing just how much was going to be attached to doing this. Like, you know, they were used to being in the mainstream where a lot of this workload was set off on somebody else. So they got overloaded. You know, like I think Ethan could have finished Cyberfrog faster, but he got like into live streaming and doing promos and stuff like that. And you guys know that's work, man. Like it takes up your day. It takes up your day. But we needed that too. We needed that. Somebody had to do that, and he was the best fit. So I'm not like a butthurt about that. I still got Cyberfrog, but
Cyberfrog was offered as a 48-page one shot though, and it grew to almost double in size.
Right. And I got that like a year and some change after like I backed it. So I'm willing to wait as long as I get something good in the end. I hope that they sweeten up their initial offer for the backers. Like when they send it out, they sent out like a postcard sometime, like saying, sorry about the delay. You know, it had like Mitch's art on it and everything like that. I thought that was a cool smoothing it over. Now that was like middle of last year, somewhere around there. Because I think they projected on their campaign, they said something like it was like March 2019 or something. They were going to have it ready.
Yeah.
I thought, man, that's a long ways off.
I really hope he addresses the rumor, though. I really hope he addresses the rumor that he's going to have someone finish the book. I really hope he addresses that.
That's not true.
That's not true.
That would sour it for me completely. Like that's one of the things I've hated about some trades of book runs that I like is like the artist switching over and over again because the original artist couldn't finish it. So that would sour it for me. But yeah, I do think there's a road back for him.
Well, that's been a thing in comics as long as comics have been published. I can tell you that when you're inking a long run of a big book, right? Sometimes every hand gets a quill, brother, and every hand starts inking to make a deadline because a print deadline, missing that shit. If you have listen to this, if you have a commitment with a retailer to make sure your book is on the stand at a certain date, and you miss that date, you have to pay them to make them whole. You pay them for their lost sales, and it sours your relationship with them for the future. You're losing revenue on the sales part. You're losing revenue making them whole. All of that. You can't miss a deadline for a delivery date for any product, right? So at some point, if you have a bunch of pages to ink, a bunch of pages to color, everyone fucking picks up a quill, everyone gets the mouse in their hand or the stylus and starts doing shit to make the deadline. So you end up with, sometimes the art isn't exactly what you were hoping for, but the book got on time for readers. And that was more important in the long run, you know?
Right. So
this is a different model now.
These
are collectibles that are paying top dollar for, not newsstand shit, you know?
So again, this situation creates a conflict of interest for Mitch because when you run an Indiegogo campaign as a premium product done fully by you, the artist,
right,
you're making that commitment. But now he's got this other commitment that outweighs his obligation, I guess, in his mind to the backers, where he has to get this thing out on time, and he's going to, by any means necessary, get that done because the cost of not getting it done is too steep. So again, the backers are going to be hurt by this conflict of interest. It just sucks.
Yeah.
Well, I know one thing: he'll never ever make the amount of money he made.
I
with the
agree.
first campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Whatever.
my estimation would be if he got 25% running another campaign of what he got, I think that'd be about what he would get.
I don't know if he
Yeah.
can get 25% of what he got from Red Rooster on another campaign.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
not.
I think that there is a road back. I think the first step that I'd be looking for is to actually get Red Rooster in my hands before that second one hit the shelves in Walmart. And if he can't do that, then it's going to be a pretty rough road for him to come back and make me want to support him or advertise for him or tweet about any of his projects or anything like that. He's going to kind of burn that kind of bridge. Like, why would I support him? There's so many other cool creators out here, especially in Comicsgate, that, in my opinion, are a little bit better at supporting the actual consumers and treating the consumers nice.
Right. I mean, is there anything he could add to the campaign? Any kind of extra that would make it
Yes, there could be
worthwhile.
a Betty Breitweiser pinup calendar, like 12 months. I'll
But it'll be 2021 before you get your 2020 calendar.
Yeah.
Right.
Well-
I mean, obviously, we don't want him to add any more story or art because that's detrimental. So it's got to be something that doesn't pile on a bunch more work. So anything he adds to the campaign could potentially make it take longer to get there.
Yeah.
So it's very tough. It's a tough situation. I think the best thing he could do, honestly, is re-engage, get back on social media, take the hits, start having a sense of humor. It's like Lucius, and others here have talked about. He doesn't seem to know how to deal with the internet. That the memeing, the internet culture. It's just, if you can't take that stuff, if you can't lean into it and have a good time with it, it's gonna hurt you.
It's really the chat. Like when he was in the group things, like when it was Ethan, Miller, Edwin, and them at the beginning, like he was good hanging around with them. But like once the chat started fucking with him, like that's where like he just like spun out of control. But yeah, he does need to like somehow form in and make it work.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if y'all watch that stream where he was losing his mind and pulling his hair out, almost literally, I mean, you can see how well he takes pressure. And I think, like I said originally, his whole goal was to raise a certain amount of money to get his business going, to get him into Walmart, and to move on. And I believe he's at that move on point. And you can guarantee, I mean, how do you take so much money from people like that? How do you do that?
It is tough to understand that. I mean, I would feel, first of all, just the overwhelming sense of getting that much support from other human beings. I couldn't imagine like not doing every single thing in my power to do right by that.
Is it hubris?
Wow.
Yeah.
Is it
Maybe.
hubris? I don't know.
I think that would be a word that works. Yeah, maybe.
Personally,
It's too
I don't
bad.
want him to add anything more to the campaign. I'd rather just him get it out, and then he can start doing some damage control and try to kind of mend and rebuild some of the bridges that he's kind of burnt and damaged. I don't think that delaying for any extra trinket is going to make anyone feel any better over it. He just needs to get it to you so he can put it behind you and say, you know what, I messed up. Let me go ahead and try to make things right on my next one. Here's what we learned from this. Let's do this. And that's what I would look for. If I was
Wait a
gonna
minute,
even
Mitchell,
involve
are you saying that a nice bright red bookmark wouldn't sweeten the deal for you, brother? Huh?
Come on, look at that
No,
thing.
Look at that.
no.
There
I mean,
are
it says Red Rooster right there.
boom.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, I got
with
it.
with
I got
a
it.
little
How about this?
creativity. I mean, there's a lot of
I mean-
How about
uses for
this?
that.
How about
For sure.
this? Wouldn't your sweet ride, you drive around to the Walmart to buy your supplies for your pandemic supplies, wouldn't your sweet ride be so much sweeter with an Allegiance Art sticker on it? Huh?
Mm.
Just telling you.
Yeah.
That would make a nice bumper sticker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Ron Glory's
It's the
ideas.
size of a fucking postage stamp, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, bumper sticker
Wrong
for
bumper
ink
sticker
spots and
salesman.
yeah, it's a whole different meaning.
This is the kind of tattoo you get right next to your C-section scar, right?
Yeah.
Right ink.
Man, that would ruin my appetite.
Fit right under the fupa. Nice and snug.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, he's gotta get it done, get it delivered, get it in people's hands, and then it's gonna be a long climb up out of this shit. If he can do it, it's gonna take a while. It's gonna take a sense of humor.
Yeah.
Because here's the big thing, Comicsgate, if you're gonna be part of the network and going on other people's platforms, it has to be fun. It has to be entertaining. If every time he shows up, the chat disintegrates into a fight about all of this.
Yeah, where's my crimson cock?
It doesn't work. Like he can't. It's not going to be entertaining. Nobody's
Yeah.
going to want to deal with that on their platforms. So it's going to take a long time if he can do it, and he's got to have a sense of humor, man.
Well, if you know anything about Ethan's chat, Mitch will not be allowed back on Ethan's stream.
Probably not. It just won't fly.
And
Right.
just like no one will permit, and Ethan knows best, and Ethan is a very intellectual businessman. He won't bring Smiller on his streams. He's not going to bring 10 nipples. He's not going to do it. And I feel bad that you got Doc Salem in the stream, and the dude is a straight up artist, and he can't get anywhere near the props that those two guys got, and then those two guys ran off with $500,000.
Yeah.
All of them. Not even including Red Rooster. That's what is that, $700,000 or more from 3 people. And then we got some dudes who struggle, who deserve to make far more money, but some people struggle to get 10,000, 20,000.
It's just like I brought up Benny earlier and how the good work he does and how he delivers on his projects above and beyond. And it's like, but look how long it took him, one rung at a time up that ladder. He worked so hard
happening.
to get there. And now he's starting
to
break.
Can you show some of it? Yeah.
What?
You guys are flaunting that on the stream last night. We didn't even look at it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in black and white, but this is a
because I feel like it looks so much better printed than like what it showed on his funding.
Oh,
page.
it absolutely
like as far as,
does.
Yeah,
it's. I mean, there's some sexy shit in here too. Tell you what.
Well, I don't want to dox the artwork.
I think he wouldn't mind so much.
You could still get it.
I mean,
too.
I think
Yeah.
everybody's seen that.
Yeah.
That page there, but there's some
there's some
goodies in here.
All right.
And did you guys get a sketchbook with it too?
Nice and
yeah, I got the ash can with the Kelsey Shannon cover. Yeah,
look at
that.
that. And a nice Ziploc. Nice Ziploc. Everything's it's wrapped in like a nice tissue paper to protect the
After
print.
you take the book out, you can get some kumquats with that.
That's right.
Yeah, hopefully his next book does 6 figures.
Honestly, guys, holding this in my hand, I've got some pre-kumquats right now.
This is the ash can.
Oh shit! Look at this Batman print.
Yeah, this is good stuff, dude.
That's nice.
The mirror.
That.
It's very pretty.
And take this out. This tissue paper.
Oh, this is a high gloss print.
Ooh.
And it's the same size as the comic, no folds. Vinny
Damn, look at
knows-
this ash can.
He
Kelsey
knows what he's
Shannon
doing, man.
cover. Kelsey Shannon cover on the ash can there.
And this is a bookmark right here.
Yeah.
That's the real deal.
So it's, beautiful cover by Kelsey Shannon.
Now, if the bookmark that Scotsman was showing earlier to help defend Allegiance a bit was like that one, I'd be much happier.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, the
Yeah, Betty
Ashcans were
Breitweiser.
beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Look at those perky boobies.
Yeah.
Cornucopia titties, my favorite.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sim. As always, you're always on dropping links for people. That's greatly appreciated by everyone, man.
And Raz had a good idea too, a little bit above. A good little comment.
So shiny. Hold on, ready?
This one here?
Yeah.
Oh, I've been waiting to knock. JDA should have made a Crimson Cock book.
That would have been the way to go, rather than his that
Roboto
janky ass looking
wrecked manlet.
Oh man!
Yeah.
Ooh, look at that! Signed by both brothers,
Oh
Danny
man.
and Frankie. This thing's
Well, that's something.
Fresh print.
I know.
Sorry to divert, but from the Allegiance Arts, I was kind of disappointed they didn't sign the books. They just signed these cards, and that was the sign.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
Right.
Can't wait to read it. Damn.
Yeah, I'm about halfway through. It's fun.
All right.
Just a good classic horror
we're gonna
story.
read this. We're definitely gonna read
I like a classic horror story. That's one of my favorite gears. Oh, horror. Okay.
Get that tissue paper all rolled up there.
Well, guy, this was a little experiment. I wanted to see if I could just open things up and talk some Comicsgate. This was a hot button issue, of course, and will be probably for some time.
Yeah.
I think this was fun. I'm really happy to see all you guys here. I appreciate you coming on the show. Hail the chat for being here and engaging. Maybe we talk more about this when something else develops. And
when I get season 2 in my hands, because I know which Walmart will stock it.
Season 2. And this is the other thing, like, this is not going to stop, right? I mean, is he delivering every month or every other month new books? Like, this is a train that he can't get off. He can't get off this train. It's moving now. So he's getting that pressure.
I thought I saw somewhere 2 months. Every 2 months there'd be a new
It might
book.
be every
I might
2
be
months.
wrong on that.
But
Yeah.
it's like,
I remember someone saying bi-monthly or something.
So it's like, this
Bi-monthly
train is
means twice a
moving,
month.
and
my bad.
he's.
I also remember there being a long discussion about whether it's every 2 months or twice a month too.
Maybe it's bi-quarterly, or maybe it's bi-curious.
Bi-yearly?
Could be bi-curious. Bi-decadely. Maybe it's one of those.
It's tough. The
Bi-millennia.
train's already,
But
the train's already moving, and
what I would like to see is like the other side of the coin. I think we don't do enough to appreciate the guys like Vinny, these people that are like fulfilling, because that's something I'm really happy about your boy Zach doing. Like, I got Jawbreakers, the third one. What was it, God King or whatever?
Is that the
newest
second one? Or? I think it's the
second
third
one.
one.
Second one.
To be honest, though,
I got
to be fair, can we talk about anyone who's more dispassionate visually than Zach is about his projects? Like, he's literally a kingpin. Like,
it.
Yeah.
All right,
like,
you
so
guys
bad.
put that out. We're gonna be going onto this thing right here, and then hey, I'm gonna tell you about this next project coming up in a couple of months. That's
I hope people take more pages out of that book, because I appreciate that so much. Is like that campaign ended, and then I got the book like a couple of weeks later. Like, before I even got my copy of Cyberfrog, I had that in my hands. I thought it was Cyberfrog. I was like, holy shit! I just bought this. Like, it was crazy turnaround time.
Ooh, Preston, that's a hard burn right there, brother. Ooh. So the Red Rooster Indiegogo copy would be a reprint, right?
It is. It's just a collection of the first 3, isn't it?
It's like Vinny's collected edition of Through the Woods.
Yeah. It's just the trade paperback of the issues. I watch. It'll say something like season 1 complete, like complete season 1 or something on it.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. Or
it's whatever story arc he's doing. Yeah.
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 Optics. All optics.
Yeah. It just doesn't. It's not a good look. It's not a good look.
I think they can come back. I'm gonna try to remain optimistic.
I think they can, but they need to do something for it. You know, like they
That's
put out
smurfing.
the book and just, you know.
Yeah, I don't.
nothing
I
else.
think that I don't think they're
Yeah.
ever going to get back to where it was. I don't think that's possible.
I think they're going to be hard pressed to hit 7 figures again, or
No, they're not.
6 figures.
There's no
Yeah.
Yeah,
way.
that's probably the real tragedy is like you were talking, Rod, like when you get that much backer support, that much money, wouldn't you like be compelled to like, well, let's do this again. Let's repeat this again. You know,
Yeah.
look
You
at
know- you know
look
the
at
way-
Ethan's second campaign, man. That's running numbers, I think, even better than what Cyberfrog was doing.
Well,
The way
didn't
back,
Ethan say something like they were disappointed with that number? They thought it was going to do as much as Cyberfrog did, and they were disappointed that it didn't. I thought he said
Oh,
something
wow.
like that on his stream.
Yeah.
Maybe,
Well,
I
you
don't
know, we can't downplay the fact that Mitch was never very good at the YouTube. Like people have said, a little bit boring, not much of an entertainer.
Well, yeah,
So-
Ethan was saturating the market in all four corners of the internet. He was on World Class Bullshitters. He was on the High Council. He was on his show. He was doing his live streams. He was everywhere,
Yeah.
saturating the market with his wit and intellect and his take on things. And like,
Yeah.
he's a showman. He's good at gabbing it up with people. He's funny. His
Yeah.
videos are entertaining. That's how. I mean, I knew who he was before this, but that's how I found Comicsgate, was watching Star Wars
Mhm.
videos, because I'm a Star Wars fan as well. So I can't be more than just I guess I'm a big portion of a group of people that came over to Comicsgate through him. So Mitch didn't do any of that. None of that.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't think people don't really want to hear it. Some people just want it to be all about the comics. That's all that should matter.
Yeah.
But this is a new path. This is a new way of selling comic books. Comicsgate has created a completely different way to do this. And it does require that you build out your platform, that you find a way to entertain people and
Exactly.
engage. You just have
Take
to
it
find
back.
a way.
Take it back to the late 50s, early 60s. These variety shows. In the middle of the variety show, we'd like to take a moment to tell you about Ajax brooms. Your woman will love Ajax brooms. And now back to our scheduled programming. You know what I mean? Like right in the middle of the show.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what
Dude.
it is. It's market saturation. It's getting top of mind. It's penetrating people's minds, repeating your message over and over, being entertaining, getting people to come out to your show, hitting them with your product. This is blocking and tackling of marketing.
Right.
Right,
Right.
you should totally find ad spots that would fall into crimes of advertising past.
Ooh.
I know they gotta be there, man.
Oh, you're right. Like actual, like television
Live
commercials.
TV show.
Yeah.
Yes. Or maybe there's even radio recordings. Those might be even better.
Well, it's
Oh,
funny.
yeah.
It's funny you mentioned that, because in Red Rooster is actually selling soda pop. Right? You can get your own Red Rooster, Crimson Dawn or whatever their name of their group is, ring by turning in 10 soda caps and 3 cents to your nearest.
What?
Yeah, that's one of the things in here.
Wow,
Red
that's
Rooster
old
is
school.
Red Rooster is a TV show superhero, but
Right.
he's also a crime fighter in real life. So this little kid got one of those special club rings. You know what I mean? It's Action Comics, 1930s kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
It sounds like a lot of fun. God
It's a
damn,
great
I wish-
story. Get me wrong here.
So it's such a bummer, man, that it has to be surrounded by all of this. It's
And what's funny is
really
the
a
writing
shame.
is colloquial to the time. There's a lot of things that people would say in the 30s in dialogue. It's written very well in that. It definitely is a timepiece. You definitely feel like where it's taking place, that's where you're at. So yeah.
all right. Jay Money, you have anything you want to say in conclusion about this?
Just support your small creators and don't be discouraged by the idiots who took everyone's money. I mean, I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
disappointed. I'm very disappointed. Mitch
Yeah.
would have made more money if he would have stayed. with
I agree. Yeah,
with Comicsgate, even though he never even said he was Comicsgate, but he would have made more money. He would probably have more books out.
no doubt.
But he had a goal, and that goal was to be, I don't know, a multi-store new imprint. But he's not going to make anywhere near as much money.
I'm afraid
So.
not. I don't think so. But
Well, the next iteration for him is to create 4 new character stories and put them in Target, because Target and Walmart are mortal enemies. And
There you
so
go.
you want them to do battle for your business. You make 4 more characters, put them in there in Target, and let Walmart and Target price war back and forth. Boom, you'll sell tons of product. So
there you go.
I know that
Scotsman.
game.
He knows how to play, folks.
Yeah, and
Mitchell.
when they see one or the other get a product in the store, they want it. They want their version of it, and they want it exclusive to them. So it can't be Red Rooster. Also, it has to be something else.
Right.
So,
Mitchell, how about you? Do you have anything you'd like to add before we close this out?
No, I agree with J Money. If he stayed with kind of like the crowdfunding approach, declared CG and stuck with us, I think it would be less stress for him, and I also think that he'd make more money. I think he kind of tried to play both sides of the fence, and he's kind of straddling it right now. And,
getting poked in the bum.
Yep. And he's gonna have to pick himself up off that and continue on. And I think that's gonna be the real telling thing, is what he does after this. Is he gonna try to make things better, or is he gonna kind of just go slowly down the Walmart route?
Yeah. So Mitchell, it was so great to have you're in the chat all the time. We see you all over the place. You're very supportive. It was so great to have you on and to get to talk to you.
Well, it's an honor to be on.
Nice. And is there anything you want to plug? A Twitter account, a YouTube channel?
Nah. Check out Should Talk on Monday. Talk out the Gates. I'm blanking on it, Scotsman. I'm sorry, it's new.
Beyond the Gate.
Beyond the Gates on Sunday. Atomic Deuce on Fridays, man.
Hell
nice,
yeah, man.
nice.
Yes.
J Money, I meant to ask you as well. I did pump out your a link to your Twitter earlier. Is there anything you wanna plug? Do you have a YouTube?
No, I mean, I got some videos of me weightlifting way back in the day, but
Beefcake.
Nice.
I'm just here to ruffle your feathers on the internet if you're an idiot. So
Hell,
it's
brother.
as simple as that.
Dude, that's a valuable service. No doubt about it. We got Scotsman, of course, is the colorist of Xenotype.
Yes, sir.
that is now in demand, right?
Right.
Nice.
I'm never not coloring. I was coloring a little bit ago while we were talking. So
We know it, and if you guys want a real treat, check out Sexy Coloring Time on Atomic Deuce every Friday night. It gets
That's right.
down and dirty with those colors.
Yeah, we talk about how to do it, what to do, how it do what it do, and what it does what it does. Oh yeah.
Lucius, we got to get everybody at Jaw Smashers on Twitter. We got to get more people tuned in to Lucius. He is an incredible artist. He's really working hard on his YouTube channel. Is there anything you want to tell us about Lucius?
I just want to second J Money saying, back to small guys. I think it's going to be us that bring us up, So by all means, back to guys. The gold standard is out there, and I'm probably going to get through the woods. I held off, and now I'm seeing that printed copy. It looks so good, man.
It's so cool, man.
Good.
I pushed that book so hard because the stretch goal of having it be oversized. I wanted it so much, and I said early on he was going to break 30K, and he did it. So I'm really happy for him.
Vinny's also really good with his stores when they're in demand. Like I got the Venus late, I got it in demand, and I think I placed the order, and like the next day I had my stamps notification that he was shipping me a package. So
Beautiful.
He's really good
That's
with that.
how it's done, folks.
Yeah.
There we go.
Ink spots.
I like big fat girls with fupas and C-section scars. So support big fat girls, and if you are a big fat girl, come find me.
Holla at your
Send them
boy.
a DM.
Right. And we will be doing Monday Night Shit Talk tomorrow night on No,
Yeah.
on Monday night on
Monday night.
Inkspot's channel. Sorry.
Like, wow.
I lose. You know,
early.
this
Yeah.
My Sharona thing, I don't even know what day it is anymore. I don't know.
Hmm.
That's true.
Whatever. Hail the chat. Thanks everyone for being here. Thank you, Sim, for dropping links. Always appreciated.
Thanks,
And
buddy.
let's do this again. This was fun. Peace out.
See.
Peace.